Once it was, once it was not. Maybe it never was. Maybe it still is. Listen well. The void trembled. Darkness drew in like a distant whisper, inhaling itself, as though an ancient presence was calling something it could not yet name. And that breath echoed through the stones of the heavens, cracking the silence like a fracture across eternity. The veil between realms stretched thin. The boundary between light and darkness shimmered like a pulse. Within that pulse a sound emerged, the voice of the unknown. The council gathered, the domes filled with light, the hosts aligned in perfect order. Mikael entered, flame in his eyes, shadow on his face. Beside him stood a being no one had ever seen before, born of dust, molded from clay, fragile, formless, yet within him glowed a faint rhythm, a breath, a spark without a name. Mikael spoke, "Behold Adam, born of earth, he shall be the steward of the mortal realm. Bow before him." Light bent, flame stilled, but Lucifer did not move. He raised his head, looked into Mikael's eyes, and said softly, "Why?" The word fell like a stone into the center of heaven. Light stretched tight, domes quaked, and Mikael's hands burned with radiant fire. One command, and he would have drowned Lucifer in his own light. But the command never came, and in that silence, a will greater than command itself was heard. Mikael's heart flared with rage, then dimmed into fear. If he remained silent, there must be purpose in that silence. He bowed his head. The council dispersed. The light faded. The echoes retreated. Lucifer stood alone. He returned to the realm of fire. He wandered through his own flame, unfamiliar now with the sound of his own voice. In every spark he saw his reflection, and none brought peace. "Am I righteous," he murmured, "or merely being tested? I refused because I am loyal, but what if loyalty itself is the trial?" He paused among the fires, lost in his reflection, then sank to his knees. "I seek forgiveness. I seek his favor." He returned to the council. Mikael stood waiting, his anger glowing quietly beneath the skin of light. Lucifer bowed low. "Let me descend to the earthly realm," he said. "Let me see what he has made. Let me make amends." Mikael did not understand, but within him a whisper moved. "Allow it." He nodded, and a path opened. Lucifer descended. As he left the fire behind, a cool wind brushed his face. The scent of soil filled his chest, and with every step, a piece of his old self fell away. The earth did not know him, yet it shuddered. Raphael was there. He looked, but said nothing. His gaze left a trace of frost across Lucifer's burning soul. Lucifer said nothing and walked on. He found Adam. The man was touching water, walking barefoot on the soil. He looked upon the world with the joy of a child. Every sight was his first. Lucifer approached. "What are you doing?" he asked. Adam smiled. "I don't know, but it feels good." Lucifer frowned. "What do you know?" "Nothing," said Adam, "but it feels right." Lucifer's flame flickered. How could one so ignorant be so content? He felt something coil inside him, a jealousy sharper than pride. They walked near a great tree. From its branches a serpent slid down, scales gleaming green and dark, curling around a red fruit. In its eyes, Lucifer saw a reflection of his own fire, as if an ancient pact was silently sealed. Lucifer bowed his head, smiling faintly. Adam did not notice. Look, said Adam, that is the forbidden tree. Mikael told me so. Lucifer's tone was calm, almost curious. Why forbidden? I don't know, said Adam. He just said so. Lucifer whispered, perhaps he does not want you to know. If you eat, you may become like Mikael himself. Adam's hand trembled. The fruit grew heavy in his palm, as if it carried his own heartbeat. The serpent's eyes did not move. Even the wind held its breath. And in that silence, every breath felt like a sin. Adam reached out and bit into the fruit. The domes cracked. The realms roared. Fire surged. Light wailed. Earth heaved. The primordial realm took its first breath. Flames rose higher. Dust shuddered. And unseen dimensions began to quake. Everything swelled. Everything collapsed. Everything burned. Mikael felt a tremor in his chest. A whisper, not from without, but within. The time has come. He clenched the light in his palms when he saw Israfel move. A shiver ran through him. For a moment, all things stood still. Then Israfel lifted his head. He reached for the ancient trumpet. When his fingers touched it, the silence shattered. The trumpet was blown. Its sound tore through the realms, splitting the void, rending the dark. Flame exploded, earth broke open, light shed its skin. Every sound collided, a burst, a birth, a cry. Worlds crumbled, and new ones rose, and all that was left of sound, of will, of light, became one final vibration. The flame fades, but the myths never end. One bite, one myth.